First time in the NBA, but John Beilein will be the Cavs' new head coach. Let's welcome in cleveland.com's Cavs beat reporter Chris Fedor. Chris, let's begin with Coach Beilein. First of all, your reaction to it and what you think of Beilein as a potential NBA head coach now.
Obviously, I was surprised that it was him, Dave, just because I think everybody involved did such a good job of keeping his name out of the coaching search. They kept it quiet, and obviously there are reasons why they did that. And when it comes to college coaches, it's really, really tricky because there's so many people involved when you're trying to go that direction. You have to be respectful of the university. You have to be respectful of the boosters. You have to be respectful of the kids that he recruited there to play at Michigan. So you just don't want this kind of situation to play out in the media the way that some of the other candidates did. In saying that, I think if you take a look at the things that the Cavs felt like were really, really important during this coaching search, the phrases that they used, culture driver, player development, and guy who can relate to young players and communicate with them in a way that they're going to want to follow. Like a lot of that, yeah, it pointed to assistant coaches, those up-and-coming assistants that work with a lot of these guys on a day-to-day basis, but it also pointed to the college level because that's what John Beilein has done at Michigan. That's what he did at Canisius. That's what he did at West Virginia. He took guys that weren't McDonald's All-Americans, that were 2-3 stars, and he turned them into first-round picks. And he turned his programs into some of the better ones in the conference and getting them to the NCAA tournament. So player development is what he's all been about throughout the course of his college career. So from that standpoint, it shouldn't be that much of a surprise. It also shouldn't be that much of a surprise that the Cavs, this group, is willing to take a swing on a guy like this in John Beilein because they are naturally risk takers.
Well, the other thing about him, the one negative you hear about with Beilein is his age. I don't think that is really a factor. I mean, if you look at the way his players responded to him at Michigan, at West Virginia, Canisius before that, it's a guy that can relate to young guys, and it doesn't matter how old you are. If you can relate to kids of this generation, you'll be able to do it, I think, at the professional level as well.
You know what, Dave? That was one of the first things that I brought up to somebody the day that the hire was actually announced. I talked to somebody inside the Cavs organization, and they said, Chris, I get that. I understand where you're coming from. But we didn't say we were looking for a young coach. That's something that the media took and kind of connected dots, and they ran with. We never said that there was a specific age that we were looking for. We never said that we were going to go a certain direction. We said from the very beginning we were looking for certain things, and those traits, I think, fit John Beilein. And the other thing that they said to me, Dave, is he's not young or he's not old in the way that he conducts himself. He conducts himself like a young guy. As you mentioned, he has found a way to get through to these 18, 19, 20-year-olds in the way that he talks to them and his energy, just the way that he is. There's so much video, Dave, of Michigan getting it further and further in the NCAA tournament, and then what's he doing? He's sneaking around the corner with a squirt gun, shooting his players, having a good time, celebrating with them. So that's something that appealed to the Cavs as well, is just that young energy that he brings to the table, even though he is 66 years old.